Today's episode is sponsored by Jam.com, the perfect last-minute holiday gift for your kids or grandkids. The courses at Jam.com are project-based, creative, and fun. I'll tell you more about it at the end of the show and give you a code to save $50 off a course or gift card. Today, we're up to the number 7 episode of 2017, GSuite Ideas to Excite Kids About Learning with Eric Curts. And I'm also excited to announce that Eric and I and several others will have a session this upcoming summer, 2018, at ISTE about GSuite.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Oh, it's back to school, and so many of us are getting ready to introduce the GSuite of tools in the classroom. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's all these Google tools. And Eric Curts from Control-Alt-Achieve and co-leader of the Ohio Google Educators Group has so many fantastic ideas. You'll definitely want to check the transcript and show notes for all of these ideas. So, Eric, give us some cool ways that we can use GSuite to start off the school year with a punch.
What I'm going to take a look at here as we run through these today are just some of the common Google tools that we tend to use, but maybe look at them from a different angle and some fun ways they can be used. So why don't we start off with Google Docs? Most people think of that as Google's word processing program, which obviously it is, and that's a fantastic way for students to write reports and, write stories and all the normal things. But some fun twists that you can put on this. Some folks don't know that Google Docs supports emojis. You can actually insert emojis right from the Insert Special Characters menu, and this can open up a lot of really fun activities for students. If you're looking for a way to get them engaged and excited early on in the year, they can write emoji stories, or they can summarize a story or a movie or something they've seen recently using emojis. They can also incorporate this into math. Yes, I used to be a math teacher, so I always have a soft spot for math. Emojis can be a great way to replace variables to bring a better concrete understanding of what you're doing when solving math problems. And there's a lot of other possible neat examples. And like you said, in the show notes, there'll be links to all of my blog posts that go into the specific details on those. But that's a fun thing. While still on the topic of docs, another neat thing to do is to use the highlight tool, but not for highlighting. Let's turn it on its head and use it to black things out. In Google Docs, you can use the highlighting tool to do blackout poetry, where students start with some text and then remove all the words except what they want to leave for their found poem. You can also use the exact same tool to do summarization. It's a process called text reduction strategy, which is typically done with a big black marker and an actual piece of paper or an article, but you can do it in Google Docs as well. You can take an article from one of the many excellent websites like Dogo News, throw that in there and have the students go through and remove everything that's not critical so that they end up with their summarization of the article. It's a great way to help move students toward those summarization skills. Beyond that, lots of other fun things you can do include creating choose your own adventure stories. Great one for students to work together in a group where they write a story and use hyperlinks inside of the doc to jump to different pages as they write their own choose your own adventure story. Those are just a couple docs ideas.
Fun. And plus, choose your own adventure would give you the ability to teach about anchors and teach about hyperlinks. There's so many things you can do with these ideas. I love them, Eric.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's next?
Sure. Let's jump over to Google Slides. A lot of times we think of Google Slides as the presentation tool, which of course it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please don't get me wrong. It's fantastic for kids to just do a presentation, stand up in front of the class, do a book talk, or talk about their explorer or their animal. But there's a lot of other fun things you can do with slides. One way to do is to create comic strips with Google Slides. And what you can do is think of each slide as a different panel of the comic strip. And students could then insert clip art and animations and speech bubbles. And when they then publish that to the web, you've got an online animated comic strip, whether it's to explain a vocab term or a science concept or retell part of a story. In the same vein, you can create ebooks or storybooks with Google Slides, where each slide is a page of the ebook, and you are allowed to change the page dimensions. It doesn't have to be the normal landscape. You can make a portrait, you can make it square to make it whatever size book you want. Other fun things include stop motion animation. This is a fun trick you can do with slides where basically you just speed up the slideshow by hacking the URL just a little bit on the presentation so that you get each slide going by at maybe a quarter of a second. And you can either take actual photographs using the built-in webcam of your Chromebook or whatever device you have, or you can just add images and move them around from one slide to the other. But again, it's another great creative way for kids to tell stories or express their understanding. Beyond that, some other fun things you can do, especially with the little ones. I do have a bunch of manipulative type slideshows. We've got a one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish sorting activity. That's great when you're doing Dr. Seuss stuff. I've also got a build a snowman one. May want to hang off on that a little bit further into the winter months, but it's a great template that allows students to build their own snowman with a wide collection of eyes and noses and mouths and ears and hats and all sorts of other things. And so they copy and paste those onto their snowman. Then there's a box where they write a little story about what their snowman's done that day or what he's going to be going off to do. So lots of real fun things you can do with slides besides just a traditional presentation.
Now, all of these hacks, you have cute little videos and tutorials and things to help us. So we're just giving you teachers an overview, and then you can pick what you want. So do we have time for another one?
Sure. Google Sheets is another fun one. We usually think of Google Sheets as something for math or for doing charts and graphs, and it certainly is. Don't forget that it's always great for that. But it's also a great way to do things like pixel art. I have a template that you can use where you simply put in some letters there, and it creates a colored-in box for each one of those, and you can make pixel art. Or how about language arts with Google Sheets? Absolutely. Sheets are great for randomization. So I've got two templates for random writing prompt generators. One gives you words being randomly put together. Another one is random emojis being put together. In both places, it allows you to generate a whole bunch of random writing prompts that'd be great for journal entries or short stories or poems. Beyond that, if we can still squeeze something in, I'd throw in Google Drawings. Cool. One of my favorites. I think it's overlooked a lot of times because it's kind of hidden down in the menus there. But Google Drawings is a great way to do loads of things, including graphic organizers. Interactive images, which is like ThingLink. If people are familiar with that, you can use Google Drawings to make images and put hyperlinks on that branch out to videos and websites and additional information. Google Drawings is a great way for creativity with magnetic poetry, drag and drop poetry. It's also fantastic for math. A lot of great manipulatives and interactives you can do, such as teaching congruent figures and similar figures, partitioning shapes. We've got algebra tiles, pattern blocks, lots and lots of templates that I've created that you can just hit the ground running with those. But Google Drawings also serves well as a desktop publishing tool because there really isn't something built into Google Suite that quite does what like Microsoft Publisher does. And so Drawings is a nice stand-in for that, for things like creating greeting cards. I've got a couple templates for that, as well as making educational, motivational posters. We're used to those big black posters with the big picture and the word at the bottom with a neat saying. Those can be done for actual motivation topics, or you can pick a vocab term of the week and then add an appropriate image to go with it and a definition in your own terms. And all of those, again, those templates are all available on the ControlAltAchieve.com website.
Oh, teachers, I know your mind is blown, but here's the thing. You've all got great ideas, whether it's emojis for variables in algebra. There's so many ideas. So one of the greatest things to do with kids is to show them something they've never seen before. And the best time to do that is in the first week or two of school. Blow their minds. Follow the links in the show notes. And I love Eric's website, particularly because he shows us how to do stuff, but also all the free templates. I have been tweeting out and sending out stuff of his all day, the day we're taping here, just because I love it. It's a great resource for GSuite. And good luck with back to school and get in there and use these tools and have some fun. Today's sponsor is Jam.com. At Jam, kids aged 7 through 16 can take cool courses like the secrets of drawing, invention courses, how to build anything with Legos, and even how to host your own Minecraft video show. This week, I spent some time looking at these amazing courses, and I love what I have seen. It has project-based courses for kids with experts from many exciting fields. So think about mad science experiments with Nat Geo stars or learning drawing techniques from a professional artist. So you can get $50 off any course or gift card at jam.com with the code COOLCAT50. That's COOLCAT50 at jam.com. This is just in time for the perfect gift and a wonderful way to spend all that out of school time learning and having fun, like learning should be.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.